From the Simonis Aramuth Arena at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel, Pat Fleming presents the 2022 International Open. Thank you everybody, thank you. The International is brought to you by Accu-Stats, and it's proudly sponsored by the three best in the business, Diamond Billiard Products, Simonis Cloth, and Aramuth, and we thank them very much for being partners with us for so many years. We've got a great matchup for you right now. Continuing on the one-loss side in the 9-ball division, it's now my pleasure to introduce our two players. From Vietnam, this gentleman is a former Southwest Asian champion. He's sponsored by Yale and Billiards and Peach Hour. Would you please welcome Nguyen? His opponent representing the United States, a 5-time U.S. Open 9-ball champion, a 5-time World 9-ball champion, a member of the BCA Hall of Fame for the past 16 years, sponsored by Mike Gugliassi Cues and Colorado Cue Kit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legendary Pearl, Earl Strickland. Okay, gentlemen, please lad for the break, if you would. The official timekeeper is Dwayne Payne. Send it up now to the comm box to John Schmidt and Jeremy Jones.
Well, thank you, Kenny, and of course, one of the biggest names in the history of the game, and that will remain Earl Strickland with a pretty good lag, but he does get beat here, so he'll give up the first break. In this race to 10, I'm Jeremy Jones with John Schmidt. John Schmidt, any thoughts?
Yeah, it's an honor to be here, Jeremy, to cover this match. Earl's one of my pool heroes, and he's one of the most exciting players in the world. And this should be quite a contest. He's got a great opponent here from Vietnam, who I've not had a chance to watch, but I'm sure he's a great player, or he wouldn't be here. And we all know what Earl's capable of.
Yeah, Nguyen, I haven't seen him a ton. I did see him, was it last year? I believe he was down 7-1 to Niels Fan. And before he won like 10 in a row, so that'll tell you a little something about how he plays. No joke there. Big shot here to start. You may have to go 3 rails back and forth.
1, 2, 3. Beautifully executed.
And nothing personal to Mr. Nguyen, but Earl does pack him in, not only with the spectators, but if you look at the top of the stands, there's a bunch of rows of the pro players here to watch Earl, and a little buzz for several reasons. Mainly, Earl brings that first off. Mm-hmm. But the players are noticing he's played pretty darn well here so far this week. Losing a heel match on the winner's side, but has really played steady. A lot of spin on the ball, controlling the speed. All right, this type of ball you can hit thick if you don't really focus.
Very nice.
I don't know if that's going to get
on top of it. Oh. Yeah, and I think there's some added pressure for Earl. Let's address the elephant in the room. You're the Moscone Cup captain. We all know that. And Earl knows you're sitting up here in the comm box watching him. And I have no idea if he's going to be picked, but I believe he knows he's in the running, and how he does this match and how he performs could influence his chances. So a lot of pressure on Earl here, and I'm a very interested spectator in this match because I've seen him play the last few days, and he looks real good to me.
He's going to lose the speed a little bit. Good speed as far as the cue ball on the rail, but just got away from him a little bit. And, what I think sometimes with Earl is that mistake can linger. He doesn't like mistakes, almost like Shane at times. I think Shane's kind of getting rid of that, that little demon that really can weigh on the mistake sometimes. But touchy little shot here. Don't really know where you go with this shot.
I
thought he double kissed it as well.
I thought he did too.
So now he's got him up over the 8. Is there enough room to kick behind
I
this?
like it, Jeremy, if he can.
Yeah,
if he can get behind it.
And he's jacked up, so he's going to swerve the ball even more. But it looks like he can get behind this.
He might even be banking it and covering with the 6. He won't like this.
And he's going to leave a big pocket on the 5 as well.
Not a dream start for the Pearl. And I'm not going to lie, I take a little pleasure in every time Earl walks by me, he says, straight pull. Straight pull's the best game. That's the game we should be playing. And it's just, it's never going to happen, and I know that. But it's kind of fun to have maybe the greatest 9-ball player who's ever lived show some props to straight pull. I do dig that.
Well, he can do some damage on the straight pull as well.
Oh, he's phenomenal at it. He's around 400.
Okay, nothing flashy from Nguyen. That's what you'll expect. Kind of like the guy, what I saw from him before, and it was limited. But once he gets that starter, he stays pretty solid with the cue ball, keeps it pretty simple. He broke the balls very effectively last year when I saw him play a couple times. But we'll see how he does, if he's got the tough starter.
Right.
That does separate the players a little bit. That's one of the things that you can kind of see the difference between the next level up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been watching pool and been around pool 27 years, and there's really only a couple players that I will make a point. I mean, I've watched them all, and I respect them all, and they're all great, but I make a point to watch Earl Strickland play. When he's in a match, I just want to watch. I mean, it's just exciting to watch him play, and so
Well, there's many reasons why people want to watch.
Right. I like his pace, and he'll chat with the crowd and let you know what he's thinking, and he shows a lot of emotion. And when I first started playing pool in the early mid-'90s, I mean, he was like the #1 player on earth, and just for me to get a chance to even sit here and do commentary on him later in my career is quite an honor.
Yeah, Earl to break the balls in game number 2.
Now he's been really, it seems to me like a good frame of mind the last 4 days. I really don't want to see him start, ranting and giving speeches to the crowd, and the score's only 1-0. Because then, to me, that's when he gets a little unsettled, and especially if somebody says something back he doesn't like, and Kenny's already telling him like, "Hey, let's just play pool." I think. I don't know.
Well, they're explaining the box.
Okay.
And the rule.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to make sure it's correct. And I didn't really see banter with that one, just some chat. But it can lead to more.
Right. It can lead to more. Now, just focus on your game, Earl. You're playing great. I mean, he has a chance to win the tournament. He's deep in the tournament. He's playing fantastic. Just do your thing there, Pearl.
Yeah, he stayed very competitive in his matches. Okay, going to go to the cut break, I'm sure.
Yeah, he just defeated Vilmos Foldis last night, 10-7, played fantastic. Had a huge lead in that match, Jeremy, that he lost Till Hill the other night. He was like 9-4 ahead, so
8-4, I think.
Was it 8-4?
Yeah, he missed a tough shot to go 9-4, actually.
Okay.
He's got a tough shot on the 2. I think he can play it. I wonder if he goes into the 8 to just take the cut here. Oh, he came cross easily.
He's hooked. No, he got out there.
Fine,
okay, get out there, ball. Nice shot.
Now, Earl, who will play fast, but a lot of people just don't realize that, an exceptional mind, but also just kind of sees the layout and sees trouble a little quicker than some or most.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing this for, professionally for 40 years. I mean, he knows what he's looking at. Doesn't take much time to decide, and there's good and bad to that, of course. But when you have 5 world titles and 5 U.S. Open championships, hard to question the way he does it. I've always just thought, I like his rhythm, and it lets his talent bubble to the surface,
Might go in between the 8-9 here. Hard to really get many problems. I mean, it's not a shot you're going to play very often, but I think pulling it up the table is a little dangerous. That's the shot I saw.
Exactly right. Yeah. Nice call.
Ooh, that one came off sharp.
A little thin. Yeah, he's bringing that up, too.
He doesn't miss much.
Big shot here. You want to make this. There you go.
Oh, nice aggressive stroke as well. This is going to get a little 50-ish.
Come on.
No, he's okay. So a break and run, it looks like.
He did look easy. And the crowd's showing him a lot of support, a lot of applause.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 Euros up on the 4th row that just like they were at a football game, a soccer game actually is what I meant, but for all Americans.
You know, I had a chance, Jeremy, in '09 to get in a van with Earl for 2 weeks and travel the country doing pool-related work, and people loved him.
Oh, yeah.
Loved him everywhere we went. He packed him in everywhere. He played amazing. He was nice as could be to me, and it's a memory that I won't soon forget. And I learned some things talking to him. He gave me some advice along the way.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I did a couple-day exhibition back in June at Fort Worth Billiard Supply, a great place in the Fort Worth and DFW area. Been around and does a ton for pool, but we did a couple days of things there, and Earl, he told me beforehand how much he'd been playing and still training, and
oh yeah,
and it showed. He played phenomenal for those 2 days. Of course, it wasn't competition, but Earl wants to make sure the cue ball's checked. And you can't take offense to that if you're the opposite player. I mean, it's just part of it. If the player in the chair wants to make sure things are right, they certainly have it. This is what I was talking about.
That's too soft.
That's what I saw against Niels Fayen last year, and that's a lot how he made that big comeback. And I was under the impression we were playing a forceful break to the referee's discretion, and that to me looked a little light.
Well, yeah.
When they're playing the heavy spin softly and the corner ball's going in, that's what the forceful break is trying to kind of excuse from our game.
Yeah, right. Well, Gabe Owen suggested something 15 years ago that I thought was pretty smart.
The rollout after the break?
Well, yeah, think about it. You could hit them 100 miles an hour. You could hit them. What's the difference? The break literally just starts the game, and then you have to push out. So you could make 3 balls on the break, get straight in. And I was like, well, it's not a ridiculous, idea.
Yeah, but we're trying to form it to where it's like that's how they play it in the public, and that's not really going to happen in the public.
Right.
We want it to play somewhat the same, And that's what I mean about the starters, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he has to come with a little bit more of a shot,
right?
We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and hooked Earl there, and Earl's going to let him know about it. Boy, if I could glance off the right side of that 2 and come 3 rails around with an inside cue ball down behind the 3-5, but I don't.
He's totally hooked.
He's totally hooked.
I was on the line here. Yeah, he may swerve at this. Oh, he's jumping it. He's jumping it.
Oh, a full cue jump. Oh.
No. He's got a short cue.
Oh,
but it's not as short as some of the others.
Oh,
that's
I didn't
all.
know you could do that.
Yeah, well, you're thinking of the 10 ball.
Oh, how
you're thinking of the 10 ball. You couldn't use the jump cues.
Oh, okay. So you can use the jump cues in the 9 ball. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha. And ball hangs right up. Oh, he hit
Earl,
that
you'll
good.
notice his playing shaft a little darker brown. It's a burnt maple made by Mike Guglielsi or Galassi.
That's interesting. I mean, what does burning the maple do?
I would guess it stiffens it. I used to see guys that had a burnt side of their shaft. You could see the burn marks down the shaft, and they'd always shoot with that side up. It's kind of. I think it might stiffen it a little bit.
Interesting.
All right, he's going to lose the cue ball unless he bumps the 5 here. And that was always tricky. He only had the left side of the ball, and he was so snookered he couldn't put left English on the cue ball. He would have deflected into the 9.
That's right.
So he had to just take what he could. 2-rail kick doesn't look as good as it normally would to me. But I think that's the way you got to go, 2 rails.
Yeah, it'd do well to hit this. I mean, you could whiff this because it's out off the end rail a little bit. Oh, he made contact.
He's going to scratch up in the corner.
Oh, dream start for Earl. Don't let Earl get front running on you. You will not like it.
Yeah. The 5 goes easily. Surprised he's going to this route. He must be going top inside is all I can figure.
It's encouraging for me to. I mean, Earl's 61 years old and still plays world class, and this isn't weightlifting. You can play this game great a long time, and he's proof of that. And of course, like you say, he does 500-600 sit-ups a day, runs 5 miles a day, plays a ton of pool, which is good for you. So yeah, he's in good shape and still plays fantastic. I'd love to see him make a deep run in this tournament. Just one for the older guys.
All right. Had a lot of success in the Norfolk area.
Oh,
so.
you're not kidding.
And I'll tell you, I talked to Earl a few times this week, and, he seems a little different, seems a little calmer about things. Just got over a hell of a case of COVID, and I wonder if that,
Yeah, gives him a different perspective.
Little,
maybe.
I gave him a small piece of humble pie with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's saying it in the nice way. COVID's no joke, and
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple free racks there. But to continue the support of our game and y'all viewing Earl the Pearl and Mr. Nguyen, get over to accustats.com/watch. This will be our last rack via the YouTube or Facebook. We'll keep you updated with some scores, of course. 2 o'clock round going on, important matches.
The biggest crowd we've had so far, I think. Earl puts butts in the seats, as they say. He sure does. I like how fast he plays, too. That's always easy to watch, right? Look at Earl.
Tell you what, I know him and Kenny get along real well.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't doubt a little gesture here and there. Here and there from Kenny. It might not be the worst thing, keeping him engaged with just him in between games.
That's right.
That's because Earl's, it's almost like he needs that release. Like I think it was Mark Wilson who made a good point. It may have been you that, a lot of the things that comes from Earl, it's not like he totally believes in them or is trying to make a point. It's just sometimes we all have different ways to kind of take the heat off of ourselves, and that's kind of one of the ways he does it. All right, touchy little shot here. Oh, that's going to overcut. He's going to hate that.
And for the viewers at home, this, I believe, is the table they played the one pocket with, and the 4 1/4 inch pockets. And this table is pretty snug, and you have to really hit your marks. The rest of the tables are 4 1/2 inches, which, people can say what they want about pockets, and players cry about big men. I say, well, are you going to donate $500 to charity every time you miss one? Because I've looked around the room, I've seen 1,000 balls missed. It's even at the straight pull tournaments, you'll see a 5-inch pocket straight pull tournament. You can't believe all the hangers that'll be missed throughout the week. So, I think these tables are plenty tough enough. And like Buddy Hall used to say, if the pockets look too big, raise the bet. And there is some truth to that.
Yeah, pretty good effort so far from Nguyen.
Oh, did he miscue there?
No, he just let up on the way down, that's all.
Wow.
Kind of trying to control that draw a little. So big shot here early.
Yeah.
Key to this one, it will slide a little bit, so just don't baby it too much.
Nice recovery.
Yeah, hit that nice and confident.
Is this the guy? Is this the guy that played in the one pocket the first round, and we were saying he didn't look familiar with the game? I think it was Mark and I doing the commentary because he had such a long queue. I think that's him.
Maybe.
Yeah, he made a nice showing in the one pocket, and I just said, hey, hats off to the guy for entering at a game that I don't think he's ever even maybe played.
Right.
That takes courage, Yeah, so he's had a couple chances to play in the main arena, which is exciting as a player. I know the first time I did it, I was on pins and needles. It's nerve-wracking. You want to play well, and you're usually playing a super tough opponent.
Yeah, I liked it. I always liked it once I understood the table.
Right.
If you understand the table, it really makes a huge difference on settling you. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
and if you understand the table out there, you have a huge advantage over your opponent usually.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get you some outer scores here in a moment. Yeah, we'll see that break. I think it's on the questionable of too soft.
Oh,
That's pretty soft.
I
to me.
think that's too soft. I
Yeah,
mean,
the one's the only ball really tracking up, and yeah. Of course, it is the referee's discretion. But what I found, as soon as that first warning's given, it's like it never comes up again.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
not talking about just with that one player. I'm talking about the entire kind of tournament. Finds out about it, hears about it, doesn't want to go down that road. Okay, one up by the 8 maybe, or can he play something
I
different,
like that,
John?
No,
or?
I like that, bud. Put the one up by the 8, drip over under the 6, maybe. Well, that'll work.
I don't know. I think he
Did he
gave him a
hook
little
him?
look on it. A little more look than he should have.
Yeah, you're right. More than he should have, but I mean, Nguyen is definitely limited here.
He's going to try and cut this in.
Ooh. Yeah, I almost like that. I want to see him just cut this in because your odds of making this are kind of slim, really. I think you sell out more than you make this.
I don't think he really has a choice, though.
He doesn't have a choice. No, he's got to do something.
Can't get enough of the ball to draw off of it. It's not going to be accurate anyways. If he could hit all the ball, maybe he could 3-rail the ball around and go forward or something. But I think he just has the left edge. Watch out for the side cross.
Yeah, such a tough shot.
And again, that's the question mark in my mind for Nguyen is when he gets a tough starter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that one was tough for anyone, but even one that's a little less, let's see what he can do with it. This is touchy going forward here.
Well, you know, when I first started playing with the best players, I was under the impression that you just had to make everything, and I quickly learned that as long as I make almost all the shots I'm supposed to make and a few of the shots I'm not supposed to make, I can do well. But I had this vision that like nobody ever missed a ball, and I quickly realized that I was maybe overestimating their ability and underestimating mine. And I really don't have an issue with like that one he missed down the rail. I shake those off because I don't.
Course,
yeah. But I used to think like you're supposed to make everything, and a miss would affect me. Nice shot there.
Super nice. I love that. May give up a little edge on the one, but no, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, because what Earl's going to do, Earl will make.
Is he swerving this?
I think so. He's going to make just about every ball he's supposed to make, and he'll sprinkle in some of them tough ones, and man, that's tough to beat. That's what the top players do so well. They make all the balls they should make. Nice touch. I just left him a window again. Boy, all kind of ways to play safe here, Jeremy. What do you like here?
Can he get both sides of the ball?
I think.
If he can get both sides, you got to go behind the 8, banking the one upstairs.
Yeah, I like that. I think he can do that with some right-hand spin.
Yeah. Now, if you're not snookered, you'd want no spin if you're not snookered.
Right.
But if you are snookered, you might need a little spin to get the job done. All right, he's going to leave the kick to the top rail. It could go for the jump here.
How would you feel about the jump?
Banging around the table?
Yes. Don't try to cut it in. Get the 1 to 3 rail out of there.
You know, it just depends on how well you feel, you know, how much you can get on the ball.
Right.
If you can get a lot on the ball, you're going to be okay. He's going to have to use his extension here.
It's a big shot here. It scores 2-2. You really don't want to go down 3-2 and let the guy get rolling. So, to me, this feels like a little mini, like, crucial part of the match where most people say, it's early, but, you know, I like being ahead 4-2 over down 4-2. Other players shake off that early lead, but I think it's a big deal.
Oh, percentages.
Right?
They'll show you. Wow.
Well, how about that? Or we could just cut it in and get
mild
perfect
he
shape.
hit it, though.
That was
just pure.
that was such a great shot.
I don't think he grabbed an angle.
Well, what's funny is, Earl said the jump cue is the worst thing ever for 40 years, and then he spears it in there.
Well, Bugs Bunny told you if you can't beat him, you got to join him.
That's right. That's right. Well, what I like there is instead of being indignant and just saying, I'm not going to use the jump cue and losing, he went ahead and jumped it in. That was great.
Yeah, big shot here. I think he would have rather had the angle to cut this and roll it versus long and straight. At least that's my preference usually. I'm a little more accurate with the combo.
Tough shot here. Wow, what a shot.
Boy, his touch, though, is so good. Like, he's not overhit any shots that are real susceptible to the overhit. Little unlucky there, but he's got to get after it, though. Looks like we're going to get a look at that replay.
The Predator instant replay. Watch this. Oh, my goodness. With
really
shape,
pure,
too.
Really pure.
What a shot.
Surprised he's not entertaining the kick now. Maybe the make.
Almost made that.
But maybe the make on the last one made him feel a little better about jumping at this one. But there was a pretty easy cross-side kick that had a lot of pluses going away. Now he's got to hit this thick. And he's got to use a little left spin to come back on the 5 unless he's going to go for the cross-side bank. Cross-side bank to me can look a little scratchish up in the corner with a high ball.
I agree. Yeah, the scratch would be on.
Looks like he's playing the safety behind the 5. And that's always a common theme. Is you're so worried about the 3, you want to get security with the 3 that you just kind of surrender the cue ball.
Yeah, you abandon the safety behind the 5 just to get the 3 out of town up on that back rail. I don't blame him there.
This is funny. Do you use the 9 and the 5, or do you use the 6? Maybe the 6, huh?
Wow, look at this shot.
Yeah,
here.
the 6 is big because you're making him come with a shot.
Oh, heck yes.
You're making him come with a shot, even if you let him see it.
Perfectly executed.
Well, his touch to me today has been impeccable. He hasn't overhit anything. He's really trusted his stroke.
No, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate there.
Yeah, hit a little the wrong side. He wanted to come across the top of it. And that way the cue ball still continues downward but goes away from the pocket. But you got to give it to Earl, though. Earl promoting that.
Right. Earl made it happen.
Yeah.
Forced him into a bad spot with good execution.
Yeah, and I've seen times in Earl's career to where the crowd was a big motivator for him. It wasn't always just picking out some confrontation here and there. And
right.
I think that's a dangerous position for any of his opponents.
Yeah, the thing that he does that's interesting to me is to have kind of an issue with the crowd and turn them against you and then still be able to play good. I could never do that. I've always told him that. I'm like, Earl, they love you. They want to love you.
Well, I think he's seeing that.
He's seeing that. I'm like, they're on your side. They're here to support you. Give them a chance. But, he's just so talented that and so entertaining that I'm just glad to get to see him play. I haven't seen him play live in a couple years.
Well, you and I both, I think, were successful players and did pretty well with our careers, but I still have felt like a pretty regular dude in my entire life, even though, won some nice tournaments and whatnot, but I still don't know if I could ever really walk in Earl's shoes to be one of the phenoms,
there's only one
ever,
yeah,
one of the greatest ever.
Yes.
And so this is said by some of the other greats.
Sure.
Yes, Buddy Hall, who's the greatest 9-ball player ever, it's going to be Wimpy or Earl is his answer usually. And, coming from the guy that knows the game better than anyone probably, but okay.
Oh, look at this little move here.
Well, he's trying to get solid, right? Stay down through it. You come up on that break a little early is when you can mishit it. And a dry break here. Maybe a little fortune cutting off the offensive shot on the 1. This is testy. This is how you're feeling. Man, shaving the 1 and using the 7 looks pretty tough. Now, when let me ask you something, John. Is there enough of the 1 to bank it kind of cross and come one rail between the 9-7 all the way back
to the
down
2-6.
behind the 6 and 2?
See, you and I being one pocket players were thinking
Kinda
the same
see that
way. I
channel,
saw that
huh?
instantly, and
Yeah.
I knew you did too. I'm looking for distance and coverage.
Yeah, it looks like to me he can bank the 1 across the side, let it roam near the 5, and come back. Oh, he caught the 9.
He tried to do that. That's the right shot, I believe, hard to execute. But, you know, and I remember a friend telling me a long time ago, if you play more one pocket, it'll help your safety play. And I thought, yeah, whatever. And it's just shots like that. Like when I played 9-ball, I wouldn't think that way.
Just see paths.
Using the inside English and
Yeah.
making all this little extra stuff happen. But the one pocket gets you thinking in that mode.
Well, one thing that one pocket teaches you, this is going to be okay. It should bounce up, I think, but it's going to. I thought the cue ball was going to get past the 9. One thing that one pocket teaches you is natural paths. Natural hits.
Yeah.
Because you're always on the rail.
So your limit.
You have to know how the ball comes off naturally, right? So
Yeah.
you recognize things a little quicker.
Yep.
He's got to avoid the 4 and avoid the 4 as far as not getting snookered behind it off a couple rails. Oh, he played with inside.
Oh, wow. He did pretty well with it, too.
Wow.
For ticking the 9.
Yeah, I think I would have went above the 4 2 rails back over. But that gets you kind of straight and kind of flat on the 2, getting to a tough 3 ball. So I think he played the right shot. He's got a pretty hot angle coming off the 2. He's got to kind of get past the 9, but not get into the 7 and roam the cue ball a couple rails near the 3. I don't think he can really play anything definite. I think just kind of develop the 3 ball. Is he ducking? Wow. I thought he would shoot.
Yeah, I thought he would shoot there. Nice save, though. But, yeah,
really nice save. Look at the 4 ball.
Yeah, wow.
If he can't get underneath this 6 at it, he may have real problems.
Oh, yeah, I don't see a lane to hit this ball.
He's gotten him bad here. He's got to look underneath the 6, I think.
Yeah, if he could go underneath the 6 with draw at high speed, you'd be going at a big ball. But Earl's not going to overlook much.
Yeah, but he's got to bend this.
Man, good luck with this. Now Earl's not
Bend
going to
it
hit
softly.
this ball. I can't imagine hitting this
Softly.
ball. What a
Softly.
shot. God, what a shot.
He knows the plays.
Oh,
so.
man, that was a great execution right there.
Yeah. Messaged Earl a little bit yesterday and just told him just keep putting forth that effort. I think you're heading in a great direction here. Little funny, and again, the tester on the starter for Nguyen. We'll see if he can get it down. I think that's really the only question mark somewhat in the young man's game.
Wow.
Oh, that was pretty clean.
Yes.
Wouldn't be the most terrible ball to attack on. I tell you, to me anyways, I'm aggressive, but it looks to me like it's very cuttable. You come 2 rails towards the 5 for position on the. Yeah, that's. I was going to say I'd be surprised if that ball hangs.
Hit that good. Earl might have to use the jump cue. No, he can see it.
Yeah, and it's so deep. The rail first coming across the spot kind of area is a difficult one to judge. So, like, I was thinking he may just go ahead and elevate, pull this ball out.
Oh, how'd he hit it? Easy now.
He's okay. He should be able to hit before the 9 with no problem. He could even pull this to short side.
I like the 2 rail like you're saying.
Yeah.
Just like that. I like that one. Very nice. Yeah, either way. Could have done it either
Well, no,
way.
that was the
Yeah,
best
that
way.
was the
But
best.
sometimes when there's traffic, don't be afraid to
Yeah.
come short side if it's natural.
Yeah, if there's a ball in the
know?
way of your lane to go 2 rails, just a draw above it.
People always like, oh, I don't want to do that. But if the cue ball wants to go naturally there, like on the Moscone table, that comes up a ton. Because the real tough part of the table is moving the cue ball with side spin.
Sure is.
It's not really about pocketing the ball so much.
Right.
More people coming in to sweat the pearl. And I'm sure Mr. Nguyen has a few fans out there. 2-game lead, first one in the match.
Yeah, Earl playing great.
Yeah, we'll get you some scores from this 2 o'clock round. So many important matches going on. And
I remember when I first started playing pool, I'd been playing about 3 weeks, and I asked the guy that was teaching me a little bit about the game. I said, who's the best player in the world? And he just real quickly said, Earl Strickland. And then I got my first chance to watch him play in person, and I was pretty much mesmerized, as I am today. I'm still fascinated with his game. Such a talent.
yeah, Hunter Lombardo trails 4-2 to batter Alawadi. Duck Thien Long, 3-3 with Jeffrey DeLuna. John Moore and Sanjan Pelivanovic about to tee it off. Abdullah Al-Yusuf 5-0 over Shane Wolford. And Abdullah, man, he doesn't get some credit he deserves. Yeah. Okay, here's another one of those starters I was talking about. Jonas Sudo, 4-2 over Robert Frost. Earl Strickland, we can see right here, 4-2 over Vietnam's Mr. Nguyen. Robbie Capito, 2-2 with Jung J.L. Chang. That should be a heck of a match.
Nice shot. Big shot there. Down 4-2 to punch that in. Nice job.
Yeah, if he's a little off angle here, he's got to draw with the correct speed. Now, if he's dead straight where he can draw back, he's got a big room for error. But if he's a little on top of the 6 coming back, he's got to have good speed on this stroke. Yeah, it's a little light.
Well, you know what I respect about a guy like this? I mean, here's a guy that came all the way from Vietnam. He has friends, he has family, he has sponsors that he's answering to, and he's got pride, and he wants to do well. And, you know, we all know Strickland, and it's so easy to just watch what Earl does. This guy can play, too. And he, boy, Shane Wolford there just about broke his cue in half. He just missed a ball, and I mean, slam that cue hard enough, he could damage it. Yeah, you don't want to do that mid-match. He's a big, young, strong kid, too.
Yeah, he's
probably be the wrong time to ask him to borrow 200 right now.
Well, he's a good kid, too.
Oh, yeah, he's a nice guy, yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, it sure is.
He's had a scratch on the break over there, and one other mistake. I didn't see that miss, but...
Yeah, I met him the other night. Nice young man.
All right, good solid out here after a nice 2-ball. Nice 6-ball as well with a little inside. Cut our score to 4-3, it looks like. Lots of junior matches going on today as well. That started at 10 a.m. this morning.
How many tournaments would you guesstimate Earl has played in his career? I think I looked it up once, and I'm thinking it's like in the 650 range. It's something pretty substantial.
Oh, I would have guessed more.
Maybe more. I think I've played 180 in my entire career, and I think that's one thing that you have to do. You have to go to the events to win them. You can't win them from your living room. Most of the players from my era, I looked, like a Charlie Williams. I mean, double, 400, 500 events. Mika, 600, 800. And Earl, it's like a fisherman. If you don't go to the lake every day, you're not going to catch fish. He puts himself in position to do good things because Earl goes to the events. He goes to a lot of events. And I got to commend him because that travel is grueling.
Yeah, we missed him at the U.S. Open this year. And recovering in the midst of COVID.
He probably still did 600 sit-ups a day, even with COVID.
I talked to him. He said it was pretty rough.
Pretty brutal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe believe it.
All right, caught those a little thinner than he wanted. He's getting the one down, the two's upstream. And I'm wondering if he may go at this bank.
Earl just told his opponent. He says you should break them like that. How many tournaments you played in your career, Jeremy? I don't think you played a ton.
I haven't a clue.
I would.
I mean,
Really?
I played a ton of tournaments.
Yeah.
Of course. I had spells though that, that's probably cost me some things in my career that.
Oh
I
yeah,
took some
you
time
could have went
off,
more. Yeah,
you know.
I don't think you would be a guy that I'd say, oh, he was at every tournament type of guy. No.
I had. Some things in the past going on that kept me from some events. But that's okay.
You and I probably could have went to a few more in our day, of course.
Hard not to bank at this one, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and hold the cue ball upstairs.
Well, the make too.
Yeah.
I don't think the make's too bad. He was really concentrating on the cue ball.
Right.
Got a little away.
Well, he's getting a little agitated here. I mean, come on, hang in there, Earl. You're
Well-
leading 4-3, playing great. Don't get down on yourself.
Yeah, the one thing is don't let your opponent, what he's doing, get to you. Because I do think the break's a little light on Nguyen's end myself.
Well, yeah.
And I've seen it from him prior as well. This is going to be, I think, the difference in the match, again, is the testy starters for Nguyen.
Sure.
And, again, they can become real testy for Earl or any player out there quickly.
Yeah.
Big draw stroke here, you just cross the four.
Oh, no,
you
big draw stroke.
You don't just cross the four.
Oh, you mean just come up by the side? Yeah, just like that without scratching, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oof.
Little fortunate.
Man.
Small gap between the four and the side pocket there. But a lot of times, that's the big part of our sport. These guys play with so much control, knowing they have to gamble sometimes as well.
Yeah.
I remember the year I won the U.S. Open, actually. I was playing you in my closest match. I don't know if you remember. It was like 8-7 me, and I told you, I said, well, here we go. You trapped me, and I just blasted at the balls, and I fluked the ball in to get on the hill. I think it was up 9-8.
Oh.
The ball was near the spot. The 5 ball, I'd have to show you. And you stuck me on the middle of the end rail, and I could see the ball. But I was so trapped, scratching on both sides, so I just blasted them.
Sometimes
and the ball went in the side pocket, and I got straight in. And
that's all you can do sometimes.
It's like the second time I ever did that in my life on a pro tournament. Just blasted and just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Do that a lot on kick shots, but not when you can see the ball.
Right. That's right.
Well, nice little out here from Earl. 2 rails out. Short's the only issue.
He's scolding Nguyen a little bit. He's already kind of getting into it with him, telling him, you got to break harder. But, Nguyen moved a little bit or something, he's saying on his last shot. But I didn't see – he was looking down, but I wouldn't call it moving. I think Nguyen is being quite respectful. But Earl's just getting himself fired up.
Yeah, and, to be fair, I think Earl's supposed to say something to Kenny in that regard.
Right, not the player.
If he has a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that 2-game lead, 5-3. Crucial part of the match here. Entering the halfway point for one player.
Strickland shooting a 900 pace. Very good.
And Shane Wolford really hasn't had a ton of opportunities. The couple he's had kind of got away from him a little bit. Hunter Lombardo in a fight back there, 4-2. He trails to batter Alawadi. Another American, Robert Frost, in another battle against Pseudo. Probably 3rd or 4th guy from Spain behind David and FSR. There's an argument there. Delgado, who's not here, which is surprising to me. Can't make them all, but Jose Delgado, who was a semifinalist at this year's European Open. Okay, I think the warning. Yeah, I think the warning's coming. It's not a matter of how many balls you get past, and the one's the only one coming past the head string. It's a matter of actually the break speed and trying to make a forceful break.
Yeah.
The ball moving up does not matter, and to be honest with you, it's only been one ball coming up the table, right?
Well, yes. Nguyen doesn't seem too thrilled with what he's hearing here. He's saying, "Hey, I'm hitting them right. I'm getting the one up here. I'm doing this."
But the one up there really doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, he's pleading his case pretty good. I mean, I think Nguyen's dialing his attorney right now. I mean, he's giving to Kenny a pretty good rebuttal.
Yeah.
Well, with a smile, though. I think you can say anything as long as you smile at the end. That's what they tell me.
That's right.
That's right.
We'll see if he puts a. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
It was better.
I mean,
and maybe just a more of a flush hit on the one. Yeah, but the one upstairs doesn't take much to get the one
right,
up the
it takes
table when
nothing,
you're
right.
cutting it off the
Right,
rack, you know.
right.
It's because you have the weight of 8 balls
Yes.
forcing it back up the table,
That's right.
pushing it, you know. So I think that was just, to be fair.
Just a little contention early. I mean, interesting as a fellow player to just see the ref getting involved and Nguyen kind of talking back a little bit. It's a little dramatic.
Hey, that's sports, though.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You think we're just
No.
supposed to be sitting down there?
No,
This
you're
is
trying-
like their livelihood.
Yeah, that's right.
This is huge. This is why you see those things in other sports happen how's that happen? How's a professional let that happen? Well, adrenaline's going. Things matter.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's like when you see somebody really, act terrible, and the first thing is, well, he was drunk. Okay, well then don't get drunk. But with pool, people will tell a story about a player did this, a player did that, and first thing I want to know, was this mid-match?
Yeah.
Oh, well then all bets are off. It's like drinking alcohol. You are under pressure, anxiety, adrenaline, pride, ego, temper, money,
And you can't shut it off.
You can't shut it off.
You can't say I'm done for the night.
Yeah, because I've done and seen and said things during a match that I don't think you'd say if you're just standing in line at Starbucks.
No, absolutely.
You know, right?
Absolutely. Going behind the 4 here.
Wow.
Needs a little kill.
Wow,
It's spread a little bit. It's a touchy shot on the
Yeah.
TV table. It doesn't grab quite as much, that English. But, referee's job is tough, and you're not supposed to do anything unless you're 100% sure of what you've seen, right?
Right.
But when they do address it, when they do believe it's wrong and they address it, it fixes a lot of problems throughout the event.
And I commend Kenny there for bringing it up. I thought he was breaking a little too soft. I mean, the rules are the rules. The win adjusted accordingly, and we're off and running.
Yeah, and I don't think he got like an official warning. It was more like, hey, you're pushing it here. You know what I mean? Like you're getting really close to maybe just a little light. He needs not much angle. He's actually pretty good to come into the 6 now. The problem here coming into the 6 is not only your speed and your line's got to be good, but it looks like you could get over the top of the 8 a little bit depending on how much of the 6 you come into.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think he can get to the other side of the 5, do you?
Well,
Look at
no,
the overhead here.
I
Look
don't.
at our overhead.
I don't. I'll tell you what. I think
The angle's pretty
I think
good.
he's going to do well to get into the 6. I think he can
Really?
do that. Well, I think he can do that. I'd be happy to hit either one of them. Just nudge them open and go from there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. That was, I'd have just been happy to hit him.
Yeah, I don't think he got full enough on the 5 to just stop his ball here either. So this is going to be a little tricky. Maybe bank it away. Try not to catch the 5 in the side or the point, and just go the side rail and use the 6 and 8. Kind of draw down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's rolling it.
Well, he's going to play behind the 6.
Yeah,
off
but
the
you don't
end.
get the 5 away very much rolling it, do you?
Maybe over
John?
by the 9. Oh,
he's
he could
cutting it.
shoot at it. Oh, and he hung it. Wow, that's a nightmare. A nightmare for him. He.
Hey,
hit
I'm
that pretty
impressed
good.
him attacking, though.
Yeah, I like the way he
Yeah.
attacked it, and he almost made it. See, to be frank with Earl, I know Earl pretty well,
needs a
as
bump here.
you do too. Earl's pull skills are not in question. The only thing that'll hold him back is if he gets frustrated. That's why he's such a good front runner, because when he gets ahead, he's not as frustrated, and then you see his true pull ability. He's not going to be slapping at balls or arguing with the crowd. Nguyen is going to really be up against it if he lets Earl get ahead and get loose and basically just stay non-frustrated.
Yeah, he left him a little more of the kick than he wanted, but, I mean, you got to be happy getting the snooker from there. And Earl, I think that's rings very true with Earl. I mean, he's, of course, we're all good front runners, but he's like one of the best.
One of the best.
But his mental seems
Right.
to get really good as the tournament goes on because his finals record is like
is incredible.
really incredible.
Yeah. Once he's,
So
I mean, for
it's
me,
not hard to front run into the final.
I'm under no delusions I'm as good as Earl. But for my own self, I mean, I struggle way more in the early rounds where I'm nowhere near the money. You know, I've won 46 tournaments in my life. I was in 40 finals. I mean, you get me to the finals where I know I have 5,000-10,000 coming, man, I loosen up.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. I struggle way more round 2 trying to call home and go, I missed the cut, hon, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't think the finals is the pressure like the beginning because you have money. You have money coming, right? That's what we're out here doing this for.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
boy.
a little worried
That was a
about
little
that shot because he
risky,
had to
twisty,
put a little more into it. Now Earl this is okay. He can land behind the 9. This is pool, Earl.
Yes, it is. It's going to
You're
happen.
not always
but-
going to get cupcakes after a guy
Well,
misses.
I mean, I think he should say to himself, man, the guy could have made the 8 and ran out.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you'd be saying. Try to put him behind the 9 here.
Pretty easy shot, really.
Yeah,
As
for
long
a
as
pro
he hits it
player.
enough speed.
Look at here.
He didn't get there.
No?
Well, I don't know. He may have cut him off.
Yeah, I think he cut him off from
He
cutting
did.
in the side.
He
What a
did.
shot. What a shot.
Earl didn't use much spin there. I would have rather gone to the rail behind the 9. And
Really get over there.
yeah, because he left a bit of a chance here on a swerve, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Jeremy, but I just always felt like if the worst you can do is second, like once you get to the finals, oh my goodness, way different than those middle rounds. Like remember, like in the IPT, and you knew like if you win this one match, you move to the next bracket, and they give you like another 20,000. Like
Yeah.
that was a lot of heat. When I watch these pro golfers miss a putt, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't get to buy another mansion. He's gonna be okay. You know, it's making the cut for maybe getting your tour card. Now there's some pressure. You go from being a valet parker to a multimillionaire. You know.
Yeah, 100 points difference in the TPA, but only one game.
Well, that's
between.
surprising. That's surprising.
Yeah, a couple misses he got away with, and the thing is about those misses, they count against you, even though they were difficult shots.
Right, and it's early in the set. That wouldn't hold up at the end of the set, I don't think.
Yeah. Yusuf putting on a clinic over there, 8-0 over Shane Wolford. John Mora trails 2-0 to Sanjan Pelivanovic.
Boy, that is a long name.
Batter Alawadi, 7-2 over Hunter Lombardo. Looks like Jeffrey DeLuna. I'm not sure who he's playing. I can't quite see it from here, but he trails 5-4. Looks like a Chinese Taipei player. All right, changing sides on the break.
Oh, he hit those.
Yeah, not getting that consistency on the 1 at all. He's going to surrender to the table here. So we'll see what kind of power with the draw stroke. A little flat here.
Yeah, this is this to me for a player under say 5'8". This is a super tough shot. I mean, they have to really get up on their tiptoe to like jack up enough to draw this.
Looks like he's got to go right between the 3 and the side.
I don't think he'll do well here. Oh, he hit it unbelievable. I really didn't think he could pull that off. Just the taller players, man, they can almost stand flat-footed and shoot those. You like banking this just up table or thin? Oh, he's just going to thin off it? Come up behind the 3-7?
Yeah, lightly.
Oh, nice.
He's opened it up a little bit, so he's going to give up the 8 or excuse me, the 5 or the 7, the cue ball behind one of those. Most likely. He may run the ball. I mean, there is an alley to go around the 7, or around the 5 ball, excuse me, and run the cue ball back up table.
Oh, I like that.
It's not terrible.
I like that. You got a chance to hook him, a lot of distance.
Oh, caught a double kiss.
Yes.
It's going to give up a shot, it looks like.
5-4, big game here.
Yeah, he double kissed that ball,
Yes.
trying to roll it.
Yeah, he should be happy he didn't scratch. You can scratch very easy double kissing it, as you know.
Yeah, this looks pretty routine. Very open center of the table. Come between the 4-8 and back to the middle for the 3 in the side. Oh, watch out. That's got a little more
Got away from
pace.
him.
Should be okay. Yeah, I think he's all right. It's a little thin on the 3, but not bad. The only thing he could do wrong here is if he put low right on this and bled the cue ball 1 rail behind the 8. If he just put straight draw, really hard to mess this up.
Yeah, your cue ball has a lane.
Oh, he's following, so he's
What
going
in
by
the
the
world?
4.
He's
He
gonna
must
try
be comfortable going by the 4. This is really odd.
That was
That was not something you would normally do there.
I understand wanting to level out and make sure you make the ball, but I mean that was asking a lot.
Yeah, you're going into the ball. He's going after the bank, it looks like.
Drilled it too.
Side pocket blues. Ooh.
Oh man, Earl even got up out of his chair there.
He didn't even think about that, huh?
Now he's got to shoot a cool shot here.
3 with inside.
Well, that or
Can
middle
he get
right
to the bottom rail?
Yeah. Oh no,
I didn't
he's going
think
to
he could
3.
get to the
oh,
bottom
well then
rail,
if he
yeah.
can't do that, here comes the inside.
Watch out for the 8 is all.
Oh, he hit it beautifully. Wow, I'll tell you what. This guy surprised me. He's hit a couple shots that look well below his ability level, and then a couple that are, look like Fedor up there. I'm like, wow.
Well, if he gets that shot, that starter, to get close to the ball and get started, when he's close to it, he's very accurate.
Yeah.
I think it's more the long shot that's going to get him at times.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen so far and what I've seen in the past. Last year, like I said, when he made that big comeback against Niels, he broke and ran a lot of racks. Of course, was laying the one up in the side quite often.
I'll tell you what, he made a nice out there. Got a big skid there.
No,
the 9 turned sideways big time.
Yeah, but if it was on him. If you watch the stroke, the shoulder was huge in the stroke right there. That causes the ball to grab. A lot of people think it's just got to be ball on ball, something to do with chalk on it and all that, but there's differences of opinions there.
Wow, Earl, really. Well, I'd like to see a replay of that 9, because that 9 looked like it turned sideways to me big time.
No, I think it kicked for sure, but I think his stroke made it kick, is my opinion on things.
Yeah, you're allowed to your opinion for sure.
I played with the brand new balls out of the rack, and I know when I've released the ball badly and I've made it kick. And then I played with the dirtiest balls, the dirtiest table, and never had a kick for months.
Well, I must have a good stroke because I shot 200,000 balls in playing straight ball. I had 1 skid.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right.
Well, I think it can happen both ways.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can just look at that shot there. I don't think you can just credit a skid to 2 foreign objects hitting, colliding.
Well, what if you make it skid like 20 in a row? I can do that. I can put chalk in there and it skid every time.
I can do it with my stroke.
Well, no, you can. I'll bet you.
You want to bet?
I'll bet high.
How much?
You name it, pal.
Hey, but it isn't going to be the soft skid, though. I can make the hard skid happen every time.
I'm willing to put up my money. I love you to death, but we can bet.
Yeah. Well, definitely two pieces of something can make something skid.
Yeah.
But these guys play with clean balls every time.
Yeah. Well,
they wipe the cue ball off all the time.
We'll settle it later, and I'll be the first to admit on air I was wrong when I. I'm willing to go down with the ship on that one.
Yeah. Well, it's just a matter of how you look at it.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I do feel that 9 skid on him,
that
too.
Was, though? Pretty light.
It's kind of unfortunate to have that 9 kick on him there. He's got a chance to tie that, or tie the match up. And that thing turned sideways like pretty ill-fated, I feel. But
well, when you slide the cue ball away, you create more grab. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
When you stroke the ball well, you rotate it away, and you'll hardly ever make the ball grab.
Like I said, I must have the best stroke on the planet because I just shot 200,000 and had 1 skid.
Well, no.
I removed the chalk from the equation. That's why they don't skid. I mean, I've been informed many times I have an ugly stroke, and I'm thinking maybe I have the best stroke ever. Thank you, Jeremy. I feel good now.
Well, no. I'm just saying there's different ways to make it skid. It's not always just two pieces of chalk hitting.
Yeah.
At least most of the great players that I've talked to from the past certainly agree that the stroke has everything to do with skids. Buddy Hall, Nick Varner, Efren Reyes, those types.
Yeah. Well, John Schmidt says they're brain dead if they think that makes a ball skid. So I just had to tell you.
Well, one of the ways.
Yeah,
one of the ways, not the only way.
Yeah.
Big difference. Oh, the jacket has come off for Nguyen, by the way. Wearing a USA jersey. You can tell.
Oh, look at this.
You can tell he definitely played some three cushion before with the bridges and certain types of shots. And
yeah.
He gets down very comfortably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's no joke. Earl's got to put him away.
Playing pretty fast through this rack.
Yeah, this guy's hard to figure. He looks out of sorts on a couple shots, and then like right there. I mean, just like you're not going to do that. I've never seen you do that in 20 years. Just go anywhere near that side unnecessarily.
Yeah, don't fall down on the ball that quick either.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right. He looks like a great player that just is changing in his mind mid-stroke or something.
All right, 3-game lead for the first time in the match.
Boy, do you realize what kind of a storm we started on social media with people are going to take my side and your side? This is going to be, I mean, I don't know how we got down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, right.
Damn it, Nguyen, you had to have a skid in the match, and now look at us.
Well, again, I think definitely foreign objects have something to do with it, but not all the time. That's all.
Gosh, I just always thought like there's. I mean, as soon as I use that town, well, I don't want to give you any info because we're betting now. You done messed up. We're betting. We're going to get to the bottom of it because I want to know too.
Well,
I want to know too because I'm wrong all the time. Just ask my wife. So like, this will just be another time John Schmidt was dead wrong.
Well, I wouldn't say dead wrong. I would say half.
Half wrong.
Yeah, half right, actually. That's what I would say.
Oh, I like that.
Half right.
See, that's what I'm going to tell my wife. I'm half right.
All right, this one's going to, it did bounce a little bit, so maybe bankable, even though it's tight to the rail and near the pocket.
Boy, if he doesn't scratch in the side there, and look, he missed the 9 and then scratched in the side there. He could very easily be tied or leading this match.
It looks like he's going to float for a safety. Oh, no, he went for the bank.
You know, you and I were so busy getting divorced there, we almost overlooked the shot Earl made on the 9 from the back row. That was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, great shot.
You know.
All right, funny little shot here. You'd like to get the one above the 3 if you're going to run the ball between the 7 and 9. No clear path, though, so you got to kind of control the speed. Because with no clear path, easy to lose the cue ball in the corner. Oh, he made his path, and he made it, I think, pretty well overall. Maybe a sliver of the 1 here. Maybe he can get at the 3 or even try to maybe play a 2-way to cut the 1 and
I like that.
Cut the 1 and get at the 3.
I think that's reasonable. I almost would play the 3 as much as anything, even though it's frozen, which makes it so tough. Look at this shot. Oh, he hit it good.
Yeah, he had to elevate as well. He curved around.
He did a
the
lot
ball.
with that. But Earl's gonna pounce. The balls are laying reasonable. The 6 balls
Very
in there,
good,
kind of
actually.
funky. But yeah, Earl's the way he's playing right now, he figures to do well. The 4, 5, 6 though, I mean, could go funny, but
Yeah.
and the 7 doesn't pass in the bottom.
Ooh, squeeze that one in. That caught a little of the point. Should get out here though. I mean, the 4 is near the 5. Even if he has to play a gap somewhere on the 6, everything's so close. He should be fairly accurate.
Perfect.
Like here, like a soft draw towards the 8
Right.
between the 7.
Yeah, it
and
moves the
8.
cue ball down to the right just a touch.
Oh no!
Oh God, don't
He
do
didn't-
that.
You got to concentrate on
Earl.
that shot. He got away with it, I guess.
Oh, now that was fortunate to have a shot on the 6, because by his standards, that was a pretty good little mistake. Boy, I like how he kind of squats, both knees bent. He's got a unique stance. Shane Van Boening stands the same way.
They're in a 4-game lead now and approaching that number 10, which is what one of these guys need to advance. Shane Wolfer got on the board over there, but
Yeah, a little late, I think.
yeah, Al Yusuf at the table and I think shooting offensively, it looks like.
Yeah, he's a great player, too.
Man,
so,
that
I
guy
mean,
cues the ball so well.
Yes.
Is it Chang taking a 5-4 lead now over a fellow Chinese Taipei player, I believe? Maybe a Vietnamese player, actually, now that I look across at the flags from some distance. I think Batter's got a 7-3 lead over Hunter Lombardo. It looks like Sudo's got a 7-2 lead over Robert Frost. So an American on the main stage here leading by a 4-game clip at 8-4, but the rest of our 3 Americans in this round suffering a little bit at the moment. Yeah, and that's got to be something.
I mean, if that isn't considered a little too
I don't
soft,
get that.
I
I
mean,
don't get it at all.
I mean, Earl's going to let him know too. But Earl's got a big enough lead; he might just let it slide this time. But
Well, I think he
that's
likes
too
that Kenny's addressed it.
Yeah.
I think Earl likes that Kenny has,
Yeah.
made it a mention. But that seemed pretty light to me. Nice.
yeah, that's pretty light too.
Yeah.
He would have had to hit that so hard to nick that in. Earl is looking to take control here.
He's just got to come back a little bit. Did he come back enough to make the 4 easy in the side?
I
Can he
think
stun
so.
over?
I think the cue ball moved his right a little bit.
All right, not
just
a ton,
enough.
though.
No, not a ton.
He could have looked at that 2 ball and made everything very, very easy if he gets a natural angle on that to get over for
Right.
the 4. But
Yeah, then everything becomes like stop, stop, city. Nice shot there.
I would play just simply above this, right?
I like it.
mean,
Yeah, just like that. Come right out to the middle. Just a little angle. Ooh. Oh, okay, it's fine. That table's quick. I thought it was going to stop. It just crept out there.
Well, I think the bet is just a little faster than what we've watched the last 3 days on the 10-footer. So,
Yeah, this table's quick and tight.
and now to the hill, Earl the Pearl. Unfortunately, we'll lose all the victims of the 2 o'clock round. This is a 1-loss side round. But all the victors will move on and compete some more today. I have all the winner side this evening. I think at the 8 and 10 o'clock round is when those are scheduled. It looks like Al Yusuf has finished that match off in a decisive manner, and a few mistakes that I saw from Shane, but really it looked like a lot of just Abdullah doing his thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would have beat anybody that set. The way he was rolling, just played great. Ooh, got the 2 to come up table. That's nice. Nope, no shot. How many players would be left after this round, would you guesstimate?
Ooh,
Like
I
60 or something? Or
I don't think that many.
Oh, so we're pretty deep. Things are getting serious here.
Yeah. So we have, let's see here. Well, we have 16 left on the winner's side, I believe. Yeah, 16 on the winner's side. So whoever wins the winner's side tonight gets on into that final 16 stage.
Okay. So there's like 40, 50 players left in the tournament, you thinking, after this round?
Something like that.
And after this round, maybe not that many. 32 players, something like that, yeah. So, getting down pretty serious, yeah.
Yeah, they got to win 2 more on the one-loss side after this round to get to that final 16.
Okay.
So that would be 32 on the. Yeah, there might be cut them in half. 48 or 64 left after this round. Actually, looks like he's ducking.
Smart.
2 come too much.
Oh, it
okay.
did. But I mean, this is good luck with this. You could maybe nick this in, but to get shape, you'd have to apply side spin, and all hell breaks loose when I try to do that from this far away. Yeah, right towards the corner. Boy, he did pretty well with it.
Yeah, he's going to get a shot.
I mean, that's pretty good from there.
About like as well as you can do,
Right.
I think.
Fantastic from there.
A little funny shot here when it's on the rail. You know, even coming across, you can pull it off the rail easily. Coming backwards, you can definitely pull it off the rail. But even with a little like rolling with a hair left, you got to hit it pure. Ooh, he's coming back
God,
on
I
the
think
side.
when it's frozen, this makes it so tough.
Yeah, this is easy to come off the rail here.
Oh,
he hit it
nice
nice.
shot.
He's going to end up on top of this a little.
Perfect. Look at that. Boy, what a fantastic out this would be from that position.
What, does he have to nip draw into the 9 here to hold the ball?
I wouldn't be against that.
Or
I think that's better than slow inside and missing the ball or something. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it looked like the right shot.
You need an angle to get to the 7 anyway.
Yeah, and it was, you know, you didn't have to ease it stretching that way. You just kind of shoot it a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
Looks like it's got to be short side on the 8, which is fine.
God, look how long that cue is. It feels so unwieldy to me on shots like that.
Yeah, to me,
You know what I mean?
it worked for a couple shots.
Yeah.
I feel like it made me a hair better.
But not when you jack up, not when you're over the top
No,
of
I
the
couldn't
ball.
shoot with it full
Right.
time at all.
No.
There were just a couple shots. Oh, that's a lot light here, Earl.
Yeah.
I wonder why he's done this a couple times where he could have got way above the ball, but should be okay.
Wow, what a shot.
There you have it, Earl the Pearl.
Wow.
We lost Mr. Nguyen for this year's event. I'm sure he'll be back. We'll certainly be back. Thank you, John Schmidt.
Yes, sir.
More coming to you from the International as the main event, the 9-ball. Stay tuned.